Open workspace, probably one of the highest value practices in all of Agile. What we're talking about here is actually getting rid of all your cubicles and working in a completely open environment. We like to call cubicles sensory deprivation chambers. You were born with a lot of senses, and then we lock you in a cube and we judge you whether you're at your laptop or not. High performing teams are always communicating, collaborating, designing, thinking through their problems out loud. That's how they learn, that's how they grow, that's how they support each other. So if you have a work environment without an open workspace, if you are providing a conducive place for people to use their minds. It's not about being introvert or extrovert. It's about sharing your knowledge. It's about communicating, listening, and working as a team. A lot of companies make a mistake of just saying, all right, well, we're going to go agile. So let's take a conference room, no windows, shove people in there. There's our open space. Let's control this experiment. Reality is that if you're going to do open workspace, there's a lot to consider. In our Agile discussion guide, we have 4 or 5 pages of bullet points. We practiced with a lot of organizations, helping them transform their culture. And you have to consider a lot of things. A couple key elements. Usually takes about 150 square foot per person, which is a lot less per person than a cubicle. Square footage allowance is usually like 225, 250 in large corporations. You have to have not only a big open workspace, but you need at least 2 breakout rooms that your team can jump into to have meetings. So it doesn't mean that everything has to be done in public. Sometimes you need to go in a room, brainstorm, whiteboard, talk things out, work with the customer. So these 2 meeting rooms, though, should not be booked. Nobody else can use them except these 2 teams. We also need some personal space, so lockers, cubbies, someplace to put your personal belongings is always good. We find that most people think they really need them, and over time they usually carry everything they want in their backpack. Having, of course, great pairing monitors, video projectors, whiteboards, lots of art supplies, right? So that you can be creative and design things. Good speaker phones, so you can have good, conversations. Those are all important as well. Expect to have food in your workspace because we all have to eat, and it's an important part of what we do. So food, drink, coffee. It's nice to have a corner where you can have that. We should also have a sign of fun. So, creative people need to have fun. If you don't see a sign of fun in the room, you probably aren't being very creative and innovative. So, it's okay to see toys and crazy things around the office, so people can get up and take mental breaks and do things and keep occupied. We like to also have rolling toolboxes with supplies. You can move supplies around the room. The furniture needs to be able to be moved around by the team at will. So you don't need to call a facilities person to get permission to do something. The team's known as, they're all adults. And so you should treat them as adults and let them move their furniture around and create the work environment however they choose to fit. And that's part of being a servant leader. Open workspaces are also deemed as like sloppy and kind of fun, but reality is people are working probably harder than they ever have because they're pairing, working transparently the entire day, pairing, doing things. Typically, the Scrum Master Servant Leader needs to protect the open workspace. In other words, as people come in, they're curious about what they're doing. Their job is to give tours of it, show the facility, show their work products on the wall, show their product, talk about Agile, but prevent distractions from the team. So it's nice to have an open workspace that has some type of a barrier, even if it's some whiteboards along one side or something on the other side, so that it's clear when people are entering into that team's workspace. It's not just, hey, I want to take a break. Let me go hang out with the Agile teams and eat their food and play with their toys, because that's what will happen. So you kind of have to protect it a little bit and ask people, hey, can I help you? Can I show you around? Are you curious about our practice on Agile? And these guys are working hard and kind of be a protector of that open workspace. At the end of the day, people have a lot of angst about personal belongings, but high performing Agile teams, it's usually not the big deal. They get more satisfaction in doing their work. Because we work at a sustainable pace, we work hard for you and go home, that your personal life kind of is there. So there's a lot to it. Like I said, check out our book. There's 4 or 5 pages of information about this. A lot of them are a lot of lessons learned over years of helping people transform their culture.